I see what you did. I also see that you are our next presenter of Does This Make Me Old, Judy? Does This Make Me Old? This is a list that you found out there floating on the interweb. A list of 27 things everyone over the age of 40. Who curated this list, Judy?
One of my favorite people from Buzzfeed who's been there forever. He is the funniest guy. His name's, I don't know if I'm pronouncing this right. Dave Stopera?
Close enough.
stuff.
If you're listening, Dave, you can go ahead and send us the phonetic
I think he says
of your name.
Dave. He's been there for, so 27 things everyone over the age of 40 does for absolutely no reason at all. I'm just asking why. And this is like a curated list of tweets about people over 40. Okay. And some of them are 45 or 50, but generally. Why does everyone over the age of 40 put quotation marks after everything?
Quotation marks?
Yeah. Huh. Do we? Like quotation marks around things.
Okay.
Okay.
Right. What else do we do?
Why does everyone over the age of 40 think they need to yell into the phone in order for me to be able to hear them?
Never done that.
And nope, don't do that either. Okay. What else? So far, we're not old yet today.
No,
here's
thank God.
one that I know I do because my kids cannot stand it, and they think I'm a slowest texter, and they point it out to me all the time, and they're like, Mom. Okay. Why does every mom text like this? And then they have a picture of a mom holding a phone with just one finger.
One index finger typing out the message.
Okay, I do that. I do that too.
I do that occasionally.
Like, my kids can hold their phones and like text with two thumbs.
I can't. It
super
turns out
fast.
all E's and W's. It doesn't turn out anything.
And they cannot believe that I one finger text holding my phone like this, and they can't take it.
And then sometimes I have to now, if I don't have my cheaters on, I have to move the phone farther away. So
yeah,
I am totally guilty.
That's a thing I do. That's a real thing. Okay, here's a good one. Why does everyone over the age of 40 pronounce Chipotle instead of Chipotle?
Never done that.
Never did that either.
And that's weird.
Here's another one. Why does everyone over the age of 40 refer to turning on a laptop as booting up?
I don't do that.
I'm going to now, though.
I get it, but I don't do it.
Here's a good one. Why does everyone over the age of 40 call every picture a screenshot?
Don't do it.
Okay. Some of these I'm going to adopt those, though. Okay, what else?
It's a retro.
Okay, I don't understand this one, but it's still funny. Not being funny, but why does everyone over the age of 40 end their sentences in a text with another quotation mark? Like, that's fine, ...
Oh, an ellipses.
an ellipses.
I do that all
That's
the
fine,
time. ...
Doesn't sound effing fine to me, Sandra.
I will own that one. I do it all the time.
You're like, I have more to say.
Yeah, ...
This is for older people. This is great. Why does everyone over the age of 65 insist on being butt-ass naked in gym locker rooms?
Yeah, never done that.
I don't either, but we're not quite there yet.
Oh my God, I remember.
That's true.
I
That's not
remember when
us.
I was in my 20s and I used to work out at the club in the Target Center downtown. I think it's a Lifetime now.
Mm-hmm.
There was like an old woman that was constantly, every time I went, just walk around the locker room naked.
What was the age they attributed to that?
65.
Oh, okay.
Over the age
quite a bit older.
Over
We've got
the
time.
age of 65.
Yeah, okay.
I think by then maybe you just need longer to air dry.
Maybe.
Your towels are chafing.
Why does everyone over the age of 45 automatically take 10 minutes to use the ATM?
I don't know. We have to pay our mortgages now. Like,
the
ATM does everything.
We got business. We got business we're taking
We're
care
checking
of.
our FICO score.
Why does everyone over the age of 50 text with short, incomplete sentences like they're sending a telegram? Oh, dear Google. Okay. Why does everyone over the age of 40 order tomato juice while on the plane?
I have never seen that.
Who drinks tomato juice that's not
written
in
by
Bloody
a
Mary?
teenager that doesn't understand.
That's how one person or their parents ordered it.
Why does everyone over the age of 40 swipe their phone screen with their index finger?
I do that.
We'll end on that. Oh
Wait,
my
what are you
God.
supposed to swipe it with?
I don't know, maybe your thumb?
Do you?
Because you're texting with your thumbs?
I don't know.
They-
I'm going to try.
Thumb-
I'm going to have to ask my kids.
Thumbs apparently are quite a thing with youth now.
They can't stand me anytime I touch my phone with my index finger. It drives them crazy. Do you want to drive a Gen Zer nuts? Touch your screen with your index finger. And they will be so irritated with you. They'll have to leave.
All
you.
about the opposable thumbs, man.
I'm gonna go to like my kids. I'm gonna go and like next time I'm hanging out with like his PCA, his like his nanny
Just
person,
start
and just
doing
start
this.
and just see if they just if I can
with
just
this
watch them just
finger.
flip out.
See this finger? You see this index finger? It's coming your way.
Not touching you, not touching you.
It's a thing that they just like.
Wow.
I just can't watch you text. I can't watch it.
All right.
And then sometimes she'll grab my phone and she's like, "I'm gonna text for you. What do you want to say? I'm doing it. I'm doing it."
Dictated, not read. That's what you.
They can't. Seriously, it bugs them that much. It's like if you think about things that your mom did that drove you crazy, it's way up there on their list of
That's
things they
funny.
cannot
Well,
take from me.
We evolved our thumbs. Let's use them, guys.
Okay, I'll try. I'm gonna actively work on that, but I am definitely gonna sit there and say booting up all the time.
You know,
I'm
if
going
you
to boot up
What do they?
ellipses.
What do they
Thumb.
say? I mean, the Gen Z really is not the millennials. It's this generation is the first generation. They grew up with iPads.
Right.
They had them like before they could talk.
Yeah.
And everything. So, I mean, I guess it just they
Every once
They evolved with phone typing.
They're aggressively opposable.
Native-
They're aggressively opposable.
Native thumb typers. You know?
Thumb typer.
Normally, we don't have a full-on answer to the question on does this make us old when we have this segment. But today, I think officially it makes us old.
I agree.
Time for our final segment of today in the Enthusiastic Women podcast. Our segment of Don't Crime. Don't Crime, where we look at something where we go, all right, you could have solved this problem in many ways, but no, you elected to crime. Crime. Okay, now this particular one, we have some interesting robbers. Like, who has this? Sam
Sure
or
do.
Judy?
I got it.
Okay.
I'm just going to read to you guys from the police bulletin
Thank you.
from the Okaloosa County Sheriff's Office. This is in Florida, of course.
Of course. Florida, Wisconsin.
They announced, we're working to track down 2 men who tried to use a blowtorch to get into an ATM machine on the 2nd floor of the boardwalk on Okaloosa Island, but bungled the job when the hinges welded shut. A worker who came to service the machine the next morning found burn marks on the hinges and locks. In fact, the hinges were actually welded shut. And then I'll skip through the rest of this and give you one description of, because it was caught on surveillance camera. One of the guys was just wearing black. That's fine. He was concealed. His partner was wearing a black shirt under an Under Armour shirt, black gloves, black shorts, white tube socks with multiple colored stripes. And he was carrying a crowbar. And he appeared to be apparently the lookout.
They're like, stand there.
He's like looking right into the camera in these pictures.
Posing.
I love it because this is why when we watch those true crime shows and you're like, or World's Dumbest Criminals, the fact when these guys get caught, they're going to caught for a couple of reasons, and then they're going to forensically line up his tube socks or his tube socks and go, these clearly were your socks because the way they fit on your legs.
So they thought that the blowtorch would open the ATM.
They thought that the blowtorch was going to cut the hinges off, so they
But
thought
it
they
welded
welded
it
it
shut.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know, you think I don't do anything. Like, I don't even make an invitation for a child's birthday party unless I prototype the thing first.
Uh-huh.
Do you know what I mean?
Right.
Yep,
I
yep.
don't make a thing in my life without, like, and I've taught my
'Cause
kids
you're a
this
woman.
too. Like, we have to prototype this.
Yes.
Like, we're gonna make more of these, but I bought extra, like my daughter had that beauty queen murder party, and we
Yes.
made the sashes. Well, I bought like 10 extra sashes
Well,
just
fair
to
enough.
practice.
Fair enough,
okay,
Judy.
If I was going to just say, for some weird reason, I was going to try to rob an ATM. I think that maybe what I would do first is try to find a decommissioned ATM.
Smart, Judy. Really
You know
smart.
what I mean? You maybe could or something.
It's not like a
too.
battleship. I don't think they decommission it or
On
a submarine.
eBay, something similar. I would research
A
this.
vintage one.
Maybe.
I feel like that's why it needs to be an inside job, because this is clearly one of those things. I'm sure that there is the safe technologist.
Some
There is
version
a
of
dude
Ocean's
somewhere.
8.
Right,
You know, I
yes.
would put together my team. I would prototype this out. I would practice it.
How
and
cool
see
would it
what
be?
would happen. I wouldn't just go in and be like,
Wait.
this appears to be welding it shut.
Wait, maybe they did that. Maybe, Judy, what they did is that these wily criminals, maybe they went on to Amazon and they ordered up themselves a gun safe, like a normal live-in-your-house safe.
And then they didn't research what this was.
Of course they didn't. I think they just said a safe is a safe is a safe, because if they're hanging out there thinking that they're going to rob a safe in the first place, clearly they're not making the best life choices. So maybe they did try it on one of those, a safe at home.
Maybe they've blowtorched some other things, just random, and they thought they knew their craft.
Maybe they made fondue. Maybe they
they were like, we know our way around a blowtorch and some metal.
Judy, I can tell you need an affirmation right now, so I'm just going to say this to you. You would be a very successful criminal.
True.
I don't think I would be, though, because that brief time I worked at Nordstrom.
Yes.
They would tell us to do these things. Like sometimes the security guys would come in and they'd be like, okay, so we have to do blah, 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 or blah, blah, blah. And, sometimes you have to do this. And I'd be like, why? And they'd be like, well, because when people come in, they have this like thing they do when they try to rob us. And
they crime.
And I'd be like, that is so smart. Oh, my God. Oh, that is the best idea. And I'd be like, I would be the worst criminal.
So we're just
I
fortunate.
can't think of the most simple things that like people would do with like a credit card or this and that. Like every time I was just like, my mind was blown. Like the only thing I could
do it
think
your
of,
way though.
The only thing I could think of in a store would be like, you just like slip something in your bag and then you try to run out the door. But like there's like these really sophisticated like grifts and scams, and I was just like, oh my God, brilliant.
So Sam,
every time I was shocked.
We're very fortunate that we have Judy Carter as our business partner, because we know that she won't embezzle or rob us.
It doesn't occur to me. True. The schemes do not occur to me. They just don't. My mind doesn't go there.
Nice.
Yeah.
Thank goodness.
And you have nothing to fear with me because I'm just too clumsy.
Yeah. No, and everybody else would just stare at me, and I'd be like, "Is that a thing that people do?" And they'd be like, "Yes, we're in a retail store."
So she doesn't think of it. You're too clumsy. I think of it and then choose not to crime.
Yeah,
but I have thought through the.
Yeah,
I'm like, if I were to crime, here's how I would crime that.
Yeah,
and makes sense to me because you are also a producer, so of course
correct,
you've thought it through.
I've thought through how to crime that.
Yeah, no, that's good.
I'm like, I have already figured out what the backup plan to that particular crime would be. But that's why a lot of times when people get caught on something, I'm like, most of the people who choose to crime probably should not have crime, because a lot of times, and this is what I think is interesting and why we started the segment, the criming that happens very often, it would be easier to do multiple other things than crime. That crime is so much work, kind of thing. You went through so much effort for, especially in that case, and that safe. How much money did they think was in it? It wasn't going to be much.
Right.
Not enough. What's going to happen if you get caught criming?
Well, you know that they only have 20s in there.
Right.
And they probably, you know what I mean?
They would have walked away with like $12,000 for all of that stuff. That's
crazy.
like, there's lots of other places I would
And
rob
they
first.
obviously didn't think about anything or scope it out because he's just staring right at the camera.
With his
like
multicolored
the
tube
whole
socks.
time.
They're going to be Insta-famous. That's
Randos.
God.
Well, we encourage you to not crime, but we do encourage you to be part of our Enthusiastic Woman community. It's easy for you to do that. You can go to our Facebook page or enthusiasticwoman.com. You can also find us on Twitter and Instagram as @iBirthSuccess. And we encourage you to email the show. It's ibirthsuccess@gmail.com. We would love to talk about whatever you would like to hear us talk about. So remember, email us ibirthsuccess@gmail.com. Ladies, I appreciate you hanging out with us. We are going to have a great episode in a couple of weeks. We hope everybody joins us again. And remember, if you're feeling less than enthusiastic, tell yourself, I birth success.